Hi everyone. Today is a sad day for those of you who have watched Elite Season 5. I have just been watched the whole spectrum of Season 5, all 8 episodes. I came up with a list of things that I liked and I didn't like, but man, holy effing bonkers that ending. It was even though we had glances of what was gonna happen at the end, I still can't believe it, man. I don't know if it was a fitting ending, and I'm gonna warn this. If you have seen it, this is gonna be with spoilers. So basically, Samuel apparently dies. Samu dies at the end, and even though we had glimpses of or actually fast forward of him actually being the person who was gonna turn up dead at the end, there were a few bits and pieces that it was like, oh, okay, potentially it's like, okay, maybe he doesn't die there in the pool, maybe he'll something will happen and he will still be alive. And even in the final episode, when we see that he's coming out of the pool and he's gaining conscience again, and you think that he's gonna get out of it, and he doesn't. Apparently he doesn't. We don't see a body, okay, and everything is possible in Elite. I haven't seen the news. I don't know if the character that plays Samuel is going to actually come back for another season. I can figure out. I can do a quick research on that. But while I do that, let's go through the season. Let's go through the season. Some of the good, the bad, and okay. I'm sorry. I was just like, I'm trying to find that out. And continue with the Samuel line. At first, actually, ever since the first episodes, I thought, man, Samu is really starting to get under my skin, under my nerves. He's starting to be an annoying character. Because sometimes the traits about good characters, the seemingly, like the right thing to do type of characters, sometimes become a little bit annoying at some point, because they're like it always feels like they're entitled and they do shitty things or shady things, and then they just think they're better than than everyone else, and keeping this thing with morality and so on and so forth. Now, so at first, in the first episodes, I thought, and throughout the season, I also thought, and the whole Samuel story, I don't know, it felt like it was dragging it too much. Like there wasn't really anything like happening for him, even though he wanted to be he wanted to get what he wanted, like a career. He wanted to pursue his dreams. He wanted to, have a life. He didn't want to end up like his brother, running away. All of that. He wanted to have his own life. He wanted to, start from the ground up, and there was nothing wrong with that. But that was pretty much the whole thing, because then the conflict between him and the relationship with Ari and this new guy, Ivan or Ivan, however you want to call him. I don't know, man. I don't know if Samuel's gonna come back, if he actually died or not. But there will be a season 6. Anyway, back to what I was saying before. So there wasn't like really any other conflict other than him trying to pursue what he wanted versus doing the right thing, and sometimes how those can get in the way. Now, speaking about, I don't want to talk too much about Samuel. I think I've already said what I wanted to say. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was a fitting ending for Samuel's character. I mean, I know started like right off the bat with just the bomb. It's just like, yes, Samuel apparently dies. And I say apparently because it all seems to indicate, or at least if he's not dying, he's probably in a coma, or he's probably, I don't know, like really, really effed up. Yeah, so there's that. So, next thing, Rebecca and Mencia, guys, get your shit together and just like, connect. I really love this pairing. I really do, but I feel like they deserved more time together. They deserved more than what we got. They deserved more time together. They deserved more of that instead of, it's an on and off, whether, you're in it for the long haul, you're with me, you're not. I felt like there was a lot of back and forth on that side, and that's what I did not appreciate. I would say that would be a negative thing. I know that there's usually struggles. There are always struggles in a couple, but with teenage romance, the thing that annoyed me is just that, the whole back and forth, the will they, won't they, that's I know that it's probably because, it's a teenage it's a high school series. I love them. For me, I want them to be endgame. I want them to end up together. But I need in the next season to please get your stuff together and work it out and just be the main couple, the regular main couple, because honestly the whole Patrick with Ari and Philippe and then Ivan and all of those storylines, all of those trios or threesomes, or you're in love with him or with her, but then you're having relationships with my dad, which also then again, I'm not judging that, but it's getting washed out by now. And it's probably the storylines that actually did not interest me at all. I thought they were dull and a bit, boring. If I'm honest, I'm sorry if you think otherwise. But I thought that. Okay, now moving on. Omar, I think he had like really less screen time. I think that Omar, without his love, there isn't much room for a storyline to, really tell about Omar. Hopefully, I mean, if Samu actually does turn out to be dead for good, I hope to see more of Omar. I want to see more of new storylines. I don't know, it was really interesting. I was actually getting into the whole storyline of him helping out this kid, who actually then turned out to be, nothing more than just a thief, and that was that. I was interested in following that line of him helping others, of more solidarity. I like that, so that was a good thing. But yeah, I felt like at some point it's like, why do we keep Omar around if we're not really gonna use him in a, other than, being Samu's friend, but anyway, yeah. Rebe, again, I mean, she's awesome. I think she's great, but again, I think that she just needs to perhaps, I don't know if being on her own, but at the end of the day, I think that they both, Rebe and Mencia, need to end up together and get there, but not at the very end, because here's the thing that bothers me. Everybody else is banging, right? Everybody else, whether it's the gays or straight couples, they're all like, even though with their dramas, they're just making out, they're just sleeping together. But Rebe and Mencia, and it feels a little bit of a disservice. I'm not saying about the fans, but I hope next season we get to see a little bit more of that, of them actually being a couple. I know that with everything that's happening, it does seem a little bit, it might seem too soon for them to actually do something. I don't know if Rebecca is actually going to be in this season, so there's that too. So it would be a shame though, because I think that is a really pairing that is probably could be potentially the strongest of them all, in my opinion. Now, and I want to go to the last point that it really annoyed me a lot. If in case you haven't noticed, I'm from Argentina. I was born here. And one of the characters, Isadora, is from Argentina as well. And the thing that annoyed me, and the thing that always annoys me when there's a production elsewhere, say in this case this is a Spanish production, so it's filmed in Spain, even if it's in Spain or in Mexico or whatever place it is. I know that there are a lot actually different Argentinians actors filming, especially in Mexico, that perhaps they have like different, especially with Disney, right? They have there's a lot of characters there, actors there that they have different type of personalities. But with series like this, with Elite, Isadora, and the typical stereotype of Argentines being cocky, being I don't want to say the B word, but the B word, and entitled, and that they can just they're always on a high horse, like and that is just, and that especially all rich people here are like that. And again, I don't know much a lot of rich people, but I don't think they're all the same. And it's like this stereotype of Argentinians being, like super superior to everyone else, who think they're superior to everyone else, elevated to the 1,000, exaggerated to the 1,000. And that is one of the things that I find so annoying, because it's not always like that. I'm pretty sure maybe there are people who think like that, and like there were some comments that she made that I just thought, who wrote the effing script? Like, that's so bad. Like, that's the representation that Argentinians have on screen. Like, honestly, we're not all like that. And we keep having these type of roles that I've seen before in another Mexican TV show, Rebelde. That there's one guy who's Argentinian, and he is an Argentinian in the series as well. He's like that as well. And it really annoys me. It does get on my nerves, because I'm kind of tired of that stereotypical of Argentinians being like that, like those, I don't know, rich spoiled boys that are like even worse than like Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl, for instance. They're even worse than that, And but anyway, alas, at the end, I don't want to say she got what she deserved, because I don't think anybody deserves that. But there was a little redemption. There was a little bit of character growth. But again, I don't know. I have something with those stereotypical, the typical portrayal of Argentinians being like that. Because in reality, believe me, it's not like that. Now, I think I've already said everything. I do want to say I got a little emotional with that ending, because I don't know if it was fitting or not, but him saying goodbye to his best friends, his two best friends, it almost felt like when, if he died, like, I don't know, like, there was only one person he ever loved, and she died. and now him dying and reuniting. I know it sounds like really philosophical, and him reuniting with her in the afterlife, it sounds almost poetic, you know. But I don't know if we've seen the last of Samu or not. We'll have to wait and see. But it was a roller. The last episode, I think the last episode was better than any other. I mean, it's still the typical spoiled rich boys with their dramas, you know, because it is, you know, like there are a lot around, but there's the good thing about Elite is that it has more diversity and there's more inclusion and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, the ending was like, wow. I didn't think that I was actually if Samu was gonna die, I honestly didn't think that I was gonna get that emotional, because he was like, you know, okay, we get it, Samu, you're the good guy, you're trying to do the right thing and all that, but I don't know, it was emotional. I got a little emotional. Anyway, but alas, thank you very much for watching. Thank you much for sticking out all the way to the end, and I'll see you next time. Take care.